Some of our top leadership at the City of Palm Coast has headed up to Tallahassee for the 2025 legislative session.
Brittany Kershaw, Director of Communications and Marketing for the City of Palm Coast.
Members of the Palm Coast City Council and senior staff are in Tallahassee for the 2025 Florida legislative session. This vital trip is part of the city's continued commitment to advocate for critical state funding and legislative support for key infrastructure and quality of life initiatives outlined in Palm Coast's legislative priorities.
Really, they're up in Tallahassee to make sure that Palm Coast's voice is heard loud and clear. You know, we plan out these 5-year and 10-year capital project plans. And these projects aren't just plans on paper. They're about clean water, safer neighborhoods, building a stronger, more vibrant future for our community. And so this trip is a chance for them to fight for that funding.
One of the city's top priorities is seeking funding to build a storm equalization tank. This tank is designed to temporarily store excess rainwater during severe storms, preventing the sewer system from becoming overwhelmed.
Additionally, they are talking about Water Treatment Facility 3 and including the treatment of brackish water. And so this is going to allow us to diversify our drinking water sources and make the supply more reliable. And having access to multiple water sources is critical, especially during the dry season. And the third project that they're talking about is enhancing Wastewater Treatment Facility 1. And this is going to meet more stricter environmental standards and produce cleaner water. And it supports responsible growth by ensuring that the city's infrastructure keeps pace with demand.
In addition to these top priorities, the city will also be advocating for support for several other key projects, including major infrastructure improvements, the I-95 parallel facility widening of Old Kings Road, and public safety, and the recreation high quality of life issue of ongoing efforts to support public safety in the Palm Coast YMCA. For Flagler's Local Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Tuesday, March 25th. DNA evidence links 22-year-old Levi Ayers to the April 2022 Palm Coast vehicle burglary spree. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
In April 2022, a series of auto burglaries in Palm Coast occurred along with the theft of a vehicle. One suspect was arrested quickly, just a few days after the crime spree. And detectives had identified a second person, but needed evidence to prove the case. Deputies recovered a latex glove from inside the stolen vehicle when it was recovered in Palatka and was sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for DNA processing. Because burglaries was a lower priority crime for FDLE lab, it took a while to get the results. But at the end of January 2025, analysts from FDLE confirmed a match of our suspect. A warrant was then obtained, and he was ultimately arrested in Putnam County. So these dirtbags found out that you can commit crimes 2 years ago and still be held accountable, as we don't give up trying to solve the case and hold you accountable to your crime. I commend our detectives and our General Assignment Unit for not giving up on this case, and thank FDLE lab analysts for giving us the final evidence that we needed to put him in the green roof inn.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. Palm Coast City Councilman Charles Gambaro was on Free For All Friday last week, and he says his own military experience has helped him work with his colleagues on the city council.
When I was a young company commander in my early to mid-20s, my first sergeant, my senior enlisted guy in the company, he had a phrase that we all repeated, and that was teamwork makes the dream work, right? And so when I look at the relationship between the city council and the city staff, we're supposed to be working as a team, not as adversaries, because we can't make the dream of Palm Coast work without working as a team. And right now, we're not doing that. And I think this investigation is going to get to the root cause of why we're not doing that.
Tomorrow, Gambaro will talk about his upcoming trip to Tallahassee to meet with state lawmakers to advocate for state funding to support a slew of infrastructure needs facing Palm Coast. I'm Daryl Moody reporting.
In other news, tonight on the Flagler Radio YouTube channel, the Shoreline Showdown, the battle for softball bragging rights in Flagler County, as the FPC Bulldogs play host to the Matanzas Pirates. Don't miss any of the action on the Flagler Radio YouTube channel, first pitch at 6 p.m. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.